This girl is a pervert. She likes to write down people's passwords and read them at home. She gets satisfaction from mocking other people's privacy. Now she's got her eye on the class president. She wonders what secrets the gentle, handsome Lei might have. At this point, she never expected. It was that thought that brought her to her doom. She pondered how she would steal Lei's password. Suddenly she remembers that she has computer class tomorrow. She came up with a bold idea. By the next day, she tricked the teacher into giving her the key to the computer room. Then she rushed to the computer room. 6 minutes to class. Just insert the virus USB flash drive into Lei's computer now, and install the hacking software. But the school's internet speed is not good, so the software is not ready yet. Look at the time, there are still 4 minutes left. Some classmates are coming soon. The girl is getting anxious. Come on. Xiao Xiao, what are you doing? It's Lei, he's early. Lei's eyes were scarlet and full of murderous rage. That's my spot. Your seat is next to mine. Xiao Xiao panicked. Lei keeps moving closer and closer to her. What you do with my computer? Xiao Xiao, who was a thief, stammered. I'm downloading the game. Really? Can I see what game it is? Lei is getting closer and closer. He's about to see the computer screen. At this point, there are still 5% left until the software is downloaded. If he finds out, Xiao Xiao can't even imagine. But Lei suddenly covers her nose. He smells the stench again. The stench from Xiao Xiao's body. He still doesn't want to get too close to her. Lei mentioned that he left something in the classroom and had to go back to get it first. He told Xiao Xiao to uninstall the game quickly, and then left. At this point, the software installation is complete. Xiao Xiao says yes, but a sickly smile spreads across her face. Now I'll know Lei's secret. It's time for class. Xiao Xiao peeks into Lei's computer and realizes that Lei hasn't logged into his account. Instead, he typed in another. What the hell? And just as it's about to land, Lei suddenly stops, mouthing the words, not this one. That was close. Xiao Xiao sees this and wonders. So Lei has 2 accounts. That's cute. After school, Xiao Xiao can't wait to run home and turn on his computer. She can't wait. She quickly inserts the flash drive. The program reveals all of Lei's passwords for both accounts. Xiao Xiao is going to look at the new account first. What has Lei purchased online? What have he commented on? Xiao Xiao is so excited. She opens the log, intending to start here first, but the next second her pupils contracted. What is this? A perverted girl peeps into other people's privacy, but accidentally discovers the class monitor's dark secret. After getting the class monitor's password, the girl can't wait to open his account. But the next moment she saw something that made her pupils shrink. A series of forbidden videos came to her eyes. Xiao Xiao was dumbfounded. Reselling and candidly filming private videos? Xiao Xiao can't believe it. Did the hacker software make a mistake? That sunny and handsome Lei actually sells his secretly filmed private videos online. How is that possible? Could the account have been stolen? Xiao Xiao keeps digging. But suddenly her vision went dark. She saw a diary entry. My deskmate. Isn't Lei's deskmate me? She opened the log. It's filled with disgust for her. The smell of my deskmate is so pungent. It smells exactly like my mom. I've been sitting next to her and it's killing me. I'm gonna sell some more videos. I'm going to a place far away from my mom, where no one knows me. Xiao Cao's eyes are as wide as brass bells. To Lei, am I just an odoriferous deskmate? And then remembering his deodorant spraying habit. It's because of me. Xiao Xiao is silent. She goes to the restroom and starts frantically cleaning herself. She washes her hands 5 times, hair washed 3 times. Even though she has turned into a drowned rat, she doesn't care. The next day, Lei still greets her gently when she arrives at the school. Looking at him in the sunlight, Xiao Xiao thought to himself, if only that account wasn't his. If only Lei was just a kind and gentle model student. Xiao Xiao dropped his pen. She bends down to pick it up. The mind is still fantasizing that Lei didn't write that log. Maybe it was just stolen by someone else. That's when one of her hairs hit Lei. Lei dodged it instantly. Looking down at Xiao Xiao, a sickening feeling rushes through him. He pulls out the deodorant and starts spraying. But then Xiao Xiao looks up. Lei's disgusted eyes mixed with deodorant appeared in front of Xiao Cao's eyes. In that moment, Xiao Xiao can't tell if that look is real or not. Xiao Xiao wanted to be angry at being sprayed in the eye, but after hearing Lei's tender concern, let's just forget about it. Xiao Xiao asks, Lei, what's for lunch today? After getting the answer of tender tofu soup, for the first time, she finds the courage to ask Lei if she can have lunch with her. But after her words were spoken, Lei was silent. I don't know if it's because my eyes have just been rubbed and I'm blurry. Xiao Xiao seems to see Lei's face change. It doesn't seem to be smiling anymore. She freezes when her eyes are completely clear. The gentle and handsome class president is actually a pervert who likes to take pictures. Xiao Xiao couldn't believe the news. But now she sees it clearly. After her eyes clear, Xiao Xiao sees Lei's eyes filled with disgust for her. This is Lei's true colors. After school, Xiao Xiao went home in a rage. That's right, she wants to get back at Lei. Xiao Xiao opens her computer and registers a new account. She wrote down all the dirty things Lei had done and his real address and name, and sent it to Lei in a flirtatious tone. After doing this, Xiao Xiao had a sickly smile on his face. From now on, you'll never be the same. She can't wait to see what Lei's face will look like tomorrow. By the next day, in the classroom, the teacher begins to call the roll. But when Lai's name was called, no one responded. Lai didn't come to school. Looking at the empty seat, Xiao Xiao thinks to himself, he must have been shocked. Never mind, it should be here tomorrow anyway. Xiao Xiao doesn't take it seriously, but after that, Lai was never seen again. He disappeared completely. Lai's parents found the school. Mom cries, Lai is a good boy. Would never run away from home. Something must have happened to him. The teacher comforts Lai's parents and reminds her that the students are about to finish their gym class. Let's go to the office first. As soon as she finished speaking, the students came back. Xiao Xiao in the crowd notices Lai's mom and dad. Looking at them, they were well dressed and glowing, and thinking about her own dad. It's such a difference. Lai's mom and dad brushed past Xiao Xiao as they left. Xiao Xiao sniffs, they smell good. It's noon. Xiao Xiao starts checking the food for noon. Today it's duck soup. At this point, Xiao Xiao sees the menu for the day of the 5th. Tender tofu soup. This is the dish that was served the day Lai disappeared. And it's now the 12th. He's been missing for a week. When we got home, Xiao Xiao was lying in bed in a daze. I wonder where Lai is now. Dad hasn't been back for days either. Slowly, she's falling asleep. And now behind her, a figure has come up beside her. By the next day, the sun is shining on Xiao Xiao's face. It's a beautiful day. Just as Xiao Xiao is thinking this. No, Xiao Xiao reacted sharply. Her house doesn't get this much sunlight. She took a closer look. Where is this? Totally unfamiliar surroundings. Is this a dream? Just as Xiao Xiao's mind wanders, footsteps come from outside the door. Someone's coming. A young girl wakes up in a mysterious room. It's sunny and well furnished. And there's meal delivery. But the girl just wants to go home. Just now, the awakened Xiao Xiao heard footsteps as she was confused. She held her breath. The secret compartment in the doorway was opened. A hand came in. Then a plate of food was thrown to the floor. Xiao Xiao is puzzled by the food. After waiting for the man's footsteps to fade away, Xiao Xiao immediately ran to the door. The door won't open. Even the doorknob is sealed. And this dinner plate, squid soup? Isn't that a school cafeteria meal? What the hell? Xiao Xiao got down on the ground and put his face in the delivery slot. She wants to see who it is. But when she looked over, she was dumbfounded. It's pitch black out there. She can't see a thing. It's been like this for a long time. Xiao Xiao, who at first thought she was dreaming, finally realized the reality. She's trapped. Everything in this room is fixed. Tables, chairs, computers, keyboards and so on have been glued down. Xiao Xiao is curled up on the bed. She's surrounded by fear. Who the hell tied me up here? I'm not going to get killed, am I? Where is this? What day is it now? Just as Xiao Xiao's mind was reeling, a voice caught her attention. It was the electronic alarm clock on the desk. At the same time, the computer has been booted up. After booting, the desktop is actually the menu of the school cafeteria. And the mouse clicked on the notepad and 2 words slowly appeared, sit down. Xiao Xiao was trembling. Is this talking to me? The monitor's wired all the way to the next room. Someone is operating this computer from there. Look at the 2 words on the screen. Xiao Xiao hesitates for a moment, then walks over to the computer with a shaky hand. Who the hell could it be? Could it be? She remembers someone. Xiao Xiao slowly typed 5 words on her notepad. Are you Lai? The guy next door burst out laughing. He did not answer the question. Instead, he continued to type. Ha, you can run away from here any way you want to. I'll be right next to you, cheering you on all the way. With those words he erased the notepad. There's no response. Xiao Xiao's hair is standing on end. Right next to her. Right next to a wall. Someone is watching her. For this person, she's just an opponent with no defense. And his words, you can try your best to escape. Xiao Xiao opens the browser. She's trying to see if there's a network on this computer. The girl woke up and suddenly found herself in Germany. What's going on here? Just as she was getting desperate, Xiao Xiao turns on the computer and realized that there was actually a network in there. The kidnappers were careless. Wouldn't it be fine as long as I find my location and call the police? Just as Xiao Xiao thought this, her hand suddenly stopped. This guy's not stupid. What if he did it on purpose? Could it be that he's going to take me out as soon as I check the clues? But after a brief hesitation, Xiao Xiao clicks search. Whatever. After all, he's the one who told me to escape by any means necessary. But she was dumbfounded when the location came out. I'm in Germany. Xiao Xiao investigates again. But the IP changes to the UK. And then the next second it's in the United States. Looks like the IP address has been tampered with. She also tries to post on the forums. But if you do that, the computer crashes. Xiao Xiao is desperate. Looking at the world outside the railing, she drools in fascination. Might as well let me jump from here. This is all fake, right? The disoriented Xiao Xiao has begun to think that the buildings outside are fake. If this isn't a dream, I'm gonna die, right? If it's not a dream. Wait, Xiao Xiao reacts. If the street scene outside is real, she rushes to turn on her computer. She's going to use the map to find her own location. Start by checking her neighborhood. Xiao Xiao keeps checking. Mouths are still complaining. Obviously I was here a couple hours ago. Now, Her eyes suddenly widen as she doesn't finish her sentence. What's that? It's on the computer. Xiao Xiao sees a dark shadow. Zoom in. A man is staring right at her. Xiao Xiao is frozen. She understands now. The man knows everything. He knows all my thoughts. The sneering face of the figure on the computer seemed to say, ignorant and lowly man. You can't escape from me. Seeing as how you're so pathetic, I'll tell you myself the directions to look for. Xiao Xiao followed his gestures and kept scrolling. She and the black shadow seem to start a conversation in the void. Xiao Xiao questions him, am I ridiculous? The black shadow doesn't talk, but the smile on his face says it all. Accompanied by his scorn, the camera goes around and ends up back where it started. Xiao Xiao crashes. Emotions are completely out of control. She turns and rushes to the door and picks up her lunch tray. Then she ran back and slammed the tray into the computer. That's not enough. Xiao Xiao continues to pound away. By this violent means, she's letting out her own panic and fear. What happens when you're locked up in a dark place for a long time? Xiao Xiao has begun a gradual delirium. She's standing by the window, fists slamming against the railing. She doesn't care even if she's already bleeding. She just wants to get out now. Finally, in her desperation, she even tried to jump. She picks up the pieces of the computer she just broke, ready to grind the railing down. But as soon as she lifted her hand, the room began to spray a mysterious gas. It's the mystic. He's trying to stop Xiao Xiao. In the last moments before losing consciousness, Xiao Xiao curses, you scumbag. After fainting, Xiao Xiao's consciousness drifted back to the schoolyard. She ran into Lei as she entered the classroom. Lei greeted herself as always, still as gentle and sunny as ever. But just as Xiao Xiao answered, Lei's tone suddenly changed. Don't you hate that filthy half-basement you lived in before? What? Xiao Xiao hasn't responded yet. Lei is walking straight towards her. He pulled out his deodorant and said, don't you think it's nice to be in the sun? Because there. It doesn't matter if you're prying into someone's privacy or ruining their life. Looking at Lei like this, Xiao Xiao doesn't react for a moment. Lei continues to taunt her. Don't you hate smelly dads too? It won't change. Deodorant sprayed on Xiao Xiao's face. Lei's face is reflected in the water drops. It won't change. It's all the same. The next alarm goes off. Xiao Xiao wakes up in a daze. The computer on the desk has also recovered. The familiar word sit down. There's also food at the door, though everything has changed. But one of the same mornings came again. But Xiao Xiao has no fight in him now. She doesn't think she'll ever escape. So why bother with that guy? Besides, what am I supposed to do out there? I don't have any friends, and I don't go out at all. And here I am, free from the stench of dad and with food and shelter. Think about it. Xiao Xiao simply starts lying down. She closes her eyes and goes back to sleep. And at this time at school, the girl in front of Xiao Xiao forgot her language book today. Afraid of being scolded by her teacher, she plans to use the missing classmate's book. And her classmate said, Lei and Xiao Xiao actually disappeared together. They don't have any secrets, do they? They regretted saying it as soon as it was out of their mouths. How could you scold Lei like that? It's embarrassing. Deskmate asked, whose book do you use? Xiao Xiao. The girl's face changed instantly when she heard. Damn, who'd use hers? Lei, of course. Outside the classroom, the homeroom teacher is calling Zayakata dad. She's been calling for 2 days. Xiao Xiao's dad hasn't been answering his phone. But then the phone went through. Hello? Who is it? Girl's been missing for days, and the father hasn't even blinked. Just now, the head teacher called Xiao Xiao's father. As soon as the call was answered, she immediately said, Xiao Xiao hasn't come to school for 2 days. I've been trying to call you, but you're not answering. That's why I called you again today. And he didn't respond, just quietly smoking a cigarette and listening. The homeroom teacher went on to say, absenteeism will affect your daughter's future education. Xiao Xiao doesn't seem like the kind of kid who would miss school. Dad interrupted her before she finished speaking. He exhales a smoke ring. Xiao Xiao's father? And then what? What? Hearing this cold tone, the head teacher didn't react for a moment. Zayakata dad continued. So? The homeroom teacher stuttered. She said she just wanted to know if something happened to Xiao Xiao, and that's when dad runs out of cigarettes. After a moment of silence he said, Xiao Xiao is just sick. I'm taking care of her. I'll send her to school when she's better. So you just leave it alone. Back to Xiao Xiao. She just got up. After a day's sleep, all she feels is a sore back, and even a little bored. She starts to think about why she's here. What did I do wrong? And is that dream in the morning suggesting something? Wait, Xiao Xiao suddenly remembers the private message she sent to Lei. Could it be because of that? She rushed to the computer. Well, let's make sure. She's logged into the account again. Sure enough, there was a private message unread. Open it. There's a line in there. You need to find out why you're being held there. Xiao Xiao paused. Is that Lei? Why? Because of that private message? Xiao Xiao bursts out laughing. What's it to me if you're the one who did it wrong? That's right. Xiao Xiao doesn't feel the least bit bad about what he's doing. She clicks on Lei's log. Are you that afraid of me finding out your true colors? Do you think the things you did will go away if you lock me up? but then the open log was blank. Nothing. The record's been deleted. But Xiao Xiao wasn't surprised. She expected it. You can't do anything on the internet without leaving a trail. She opened the edit. Got draft. It's got 17 entries. At that moment, the mysterious man who was watching him from the other side saw Xiao Xiao's operation inside. Luckily, I brought her with me. And the browsing history is filled to the brim with Lai's scripts. One of them caught Xiao Xiao's attention. Qualifications for parenthood. How much does a grieving family affect a child? He went from being a sunny boy with good grades to a pervert who stole his privacy. It's all about Lai's mom's subtle influence on him. Xiao Xiao opens Lai's manuscript and finds the message called Parental Qualifications. There were 2 sentences written in it. If you want to be a qualified parent, you can't cry. And go home early. His father cheated on him when Lai was a child. He was often late and didn't even come home. And his mom was in tears every day. Lai is haunted by her mother's unceasing cries and curses against her father. It's a distraction and a burden to him. Then Lai deliberately scored 51 on a test. Because he saw Dad's car on the way to school that day. Dad parked his car and left. And there was a woman in the car fixing her makeup. So he knew that even if he got 100 points in the exam today, his mother would not be happy. This is the story of Lai's childhood. Xiao Xiao reads it and curses the guy for being such a lunatic. But the corners of her mouth gradually rose. She laughed out loud. So Lai's family is broken. Xiao Xiao doesn't sympathize with Lai. Still think it's funny. She thinks Lai would cry every day if he was in her house. Haha, even funnier. Xiao Xiao thought, she seems to be the only one who knows about Lai's secret. It's so cool. This moment. Xiao Xiao's penchant for mocking other people's privacy is greatly satisfied. She intends to keep reading. She wants to know all of Lai's secrets. But then the alarm went off. It's 5 o'clock. Xiao Xiao's computer is out of control. Control is back in the hands of the man in black. He erases the interface and opens a notepad. Slowly, he typed in the words, eat. Xiao Xiao froze. Who can eat in this situation now? This pervert is torturing me again. Xiao Xiao responded directly from the computer, you're Lai, right? And the man in black outside just smiled slightly. He didn't bother with Xiao Xiao and kept sending emoticons instead. That emoticon smile reminds Xiao Xiao of the guy on the map in the daytime. Damn it, Xiao Xiao curses the madman. She even thought about smashing the computer screen again. But then a sentence appeared on the computer. Let me tell you something important. Back to Xiao Xiao's father's side. He's in Xiao Xiao's room. It's already full of clutter. There are still traces of Xiao Xiao's life. But Dad doesn't mention Xiao Xiao. Instead, it inexplicably says, rancid flavor. There shouldn't be a need to call the police, should there? And then he just turned around and left. A high school girl was kidnapped by a mysterious man, but no one knew. Even her own father doesn't care. Now the girl can only escape on her own. It is said that humans have a habit of assuming the motives of others based on their behavior. The mysterious man said to Xiao Xiao, why would I tell you that much? Time to eat. The path you're looking for. And my smile and so on. It's easy, because these are hidden clues. Realizing what he meant, Xiao Xiao began to go through his previous browsing history. She was shocked when she saw this. The mysterious man on the map earlier. Every time he smiles, he points his finger somewhere. And the places he points to have one thing in common. They all have numbers. Xiao Xiao collects the numbers. Eventually it turns out to be a website. Curiosity drove her to search the site. The interface that popped up looked very familiar to her. Isn't that my phone's unlock screen? Is it? In disbelief, Xiao Xiao tries to enter his own unlock code. It actually opened. Look at the familiar wallpaper. What's going on here? Is this really my phone? In Xiao Xiao's shock. Outside, however, the mysterious man relaxes. He used hacking software to steal the cell phone code Xiao Xiao had just entered and muttered, it's so easy. After getting the password, the mysterious man disconnected Xiao Xiao's computer again, reopened the notepad. He gives Xiao Xiao a new command. It's dinner time. Xiao Xiao greeted the mystery man's mom and dad. Damn. Why does this guy always talk about dinner? Watching the mysterious man start to use emoticons again, Xiao Xiao sends a telegram directly to him. But remembering all those hints the mystery man had just given her, Xiao Xiao reacts. That mysterious man keeps stressing about eating. Is there any clues in the food? Xiao Xiao comes to the plate. She looks at the familiar food. Do I really have to eat it? Regardless, Xiao Xiao hesitates for just a moment before grabbing a spoon and eating. At most, it's just food poisoning. On the other side, the man in black is currently flipping through Xiao Xiao's memos. It records all of Xiao Xiao's resources, and the one that attracted the mystery man was Lei's password. The mystic said darkly, found it. She really does know. That's when Mystic's cell phone rang. There's a text message asking him to take a call. It's urgent. Mystic turns his head to look at Xiao Xiao on the monitor. He was going to wait for her to finish her meal. Now it looks like that's not going to happen. The mystic got up and left the premises, but instead of going out, he's heading in the direction of Xiao Xiao. At the same time, Xiao Xiao, who has finished his meal, also realizes what's going on. Her heart tightens. High school girl kidnapped. After a 3-day battle of wits, she finally meets the kidnapper. Just now, Xiao Chao finished his meal and realized there was actually writing on the bottom of his plate. Upon closer examination, he realized it was a phrase. "You can see me today," and that's when the door was opened. It's the mystery man. He's all wrapped up in a gas mask. Xiao Chao didn't say anything when he saw him. Instead, he pulled out a deodorant and sprayed it in Xiao Cao's face. In a trance, this scene reminded Xiao Chao of Lei. She then collapsed. The mystery man's bottle was filled with LSD. After knocking out Xiao Chao, Mystique threw her on the bed. He just picked up his dinner plate and left. He had to go out because of that phone call. While walking around the corner, the mystery man threw his dinner plate in the trash. Incidentally, he took off his own mask and threw it away. After the disposal, mystery man starts walking out the door while talking on the phone. When he comes out, it's dusk outside, and it's only then that he can see where he is. It's a residential building. The mystery man made it all the way to the station. The phone in his hand keeps ringing. The guy on the other side hasn't picked up yet. Then a kid at the station noticed him. He seemed to recognize the mystery man and stared him straight in the face. The next moment surprisingly shouted out, "Brother?" The mysterious man also froze for a moment when he heard. He glanced at the child. An icy chill surrounds the child. The boy's scalp went numb at the sight. He immediately turned his head and said, "I'm sorry. I recognized the wrong person. Because my brother said he'd pick me up, so I thought you were him." The mystery man looked straight at the little boy. He was about to say something when, suddenly, the call came through. The interrupted mystic then talked to the person on the other end of the line. During the conversation, the person mentioned something about a dead body. And the mystery man says he knows. "I'll be there." After hanging up the phone, he took the bus and left the area. And the direction to go is a place called G Mountain. Go back to Xiao Chao. She just woke up. Look at the sunlight outside. She begins to remember the mysterious man's behavior, that familiar deodorant, and the fact that his movements and demeanor are exactly like Lei's. Even those private messages, website addresses, etc. all express a message. The mystery man is Lei, but Xiao Chao had a feeling something was wrong. Just as she was thinking, she smelled a sour odor. It's the smell of hair. Xiao Chao remembers he hasn't washed his hair in days. A young girl is kidnapped by a mysterious man, but she found her father's scent on the man's mask. Xiao Chao recalls the scent of the mysterious man while washing her hair. It's a scent that Xiao Chao knows all too well. It's not the floral scent of deodorant, it's the acrid smell of his dad's body. This intrigued Xiao Chao to no end. Why? Why does that mystery man smell like dad? Where the hell is this place? Also, why am I being held here? These are the things Xiao Chao wants to know. She wants to investigate. That's when the alarm went off. It's time for your daily computer session. Xiao Chao comes to the computer. Whenever she wants to know something, she opens the computer like this, whether it's friends or the world. As long as everything is known through the computer. Xiao Chao is turning on the computer. Lei's draft logs have all been erased. Even the website has been disconnected. The guy deleted all evidence of Lei and manipulated my phone. Xiao Chao ponders. What is he trying to get from me? Suddenly she has a flash of insight. It's Lei's unlock code. Xiao Chao reacts with chagrin. He must have seen all the stuff on my phone. He wouldn't have deleted them all, would he? That's what I've been trying to get. But soon she calmed down again. She's being held here now. Those things don't work. She's going to continue investigating Lei. I'm not giving up on him. Xiao Chao searched for Lei's account directly on the forum's official website. But the screen that popped up made her pupils shrink. What is Kim Hina's SNS account? The mystery man is asking and baiting Xiao Chao in the same way he did earlier. Xiao Chao is puzzled. Why would he ask that? Is he trying to find out what I really know? With that, she smiled evilly. Then go ahead and check it out. Xiao Chao does know Kim Hina's SNS account. After knowing her account, Xiao Chao has also read what she has posted, but she won't expose it now. Xiao Chao opens the public forum. She has an idea. Could it be that everything was actually investigated by me? But that idea was shattered just as soon as it came out. She saw a post on the forums. There's been a tragedy on Mount G. The followers say, 2 other students from his class are missing. That's really scary. Xiao Chao froze. G Mountain? Isn't that the hill behind my neighborhood? She clicked in to take a look, but saw someone who blew her away. It's her dad. There's a murder in the hills behind her house. A young girl investigates a clue but finds dad's figure. Xiao Chao turns on the newscast and realizes that a reporter is actually on the scene interviewing her dad. Ask him if he's seen any suspicious people, etc. Xiao Chao is shocked. Dad's answer is very meaningful. This is a construction site. There are suspicious people everywhere. Xiao Chao looks at the screen image and thinks, is this what Mystic meant for me to see? That means, has Lei's hand reached Dad? But the next moment Xiao Chao lowered his head and lost interest, because if that's the case, Mystic's plan has gone awry. No matter what happens to her dad, Xiao Chao doesn't care. It's just a matter of no one giving her pocket money. Xiao Cao's family's lack of love is a big reason why she's like this. She doesn't have any father-daughter bond with Dad at all. They only interacted when they were very young. Even Dad's job was guessed by Xiao Chao by looking at his clothes. She doesn't even know how old Dad is. The only thing Xiao Qiao knows is, Dad has two friends, 1 and 2. During Xiao Cao's childhood, her father just ignored her. Even when Xiao Qiao was bawling his eyes out, he just ate. And when Xiao Qiao saw that Dad didn't pay attention to her, she would deliberately cry even louder. The shrill cry annoys Dad. He pulls his cell phone out of his pocket, tapped it a couple times with his chopsticks, showing Xiao Qiao that he can come and play with this. Leave him alone. Xiao Qiao immediately ran over and grabbed the phone and played with it. But Dad's face went dark, because Xiao Qiao actually opened his call log. Looking at the above call logs with friend 1 and friend 2, the young Xiao Qiao was thinking, this kind of person actually has friends? Next thing I know, Dad's got the phone. He said to Xiao Qiao with scarlet eyes, call records are not something you can just look at. Although this is just a warning, but it was the first time Dad spoke to Xiao Qiao, so she was happy. But then there's something else that Xiao Qiao remembers very well. It was a stormy night. Xiao Qiao is crying to get Dad's mobile phone, but that day, Dad was a stranger to her. The shoes that Dad took off when he came back were dripping red water, and the clothes he's wearing, there's even blood red water coming down from the top of his head. My father's eyes are filled with murderous rage. It's as if he's just come back from something horrible. At that moment, there was a thunderclap. Lightning fell upon Dad, a downpour of rain. My dad came home with a trail of blood. The light of the thunder shone on him, making his godless face look particularly murderous. The young Xiao Qiao cries at the sight. But his father just took off his jacket as if nothing had happened. Then he opens the refrigerator and takes out his dinner and starts eating. See, Xiao Qiao is still crying. He took out his cell phone and tapped it with his chopsticks, signaling Xiao Qiao to come play with his cell phone. Xiao Qiao got the cell phone and deliberately went back to look at Dad's call logs. Dad's most recent call was with friend 1. The time is 6:57 in the evening. It was shortly before his return. Xiao Qiao is holding his cell phone and is about to inquire about something, but the next second the phone was taken away from her. The father smashed the phone hard against the mirror to hide his secret. Looking at the cell phone plugged into the mirror, Xiao Qiao froze. This is her childhood. What kind of person is this person? Even she doesn't know. And after doing what he just did, Dad continues to eat calmly. A broken mirror reflects Dad's figure, as if on cue. It's as if Dad has a broken past. Time to go back to the present. Dad is listening to a classical music channel. He likes to light up a cigarette and relax with some soft music. But this time it's different. He heard a different voice in the channel. It's a doctor's online submission. Dad instantly changed his face when he heard the word doctor. He seems to be very sensitive to the profession. At this point, the camera pans over to Dad's side. There's some special drugs here, like hydrochloric acid and antiseptics, and all sorts of tools with blood on them. Pliers, hammers, knives, gloves, etc. Dad's mouth began to chant slowly. All senses are dulled, with the camera pulling away, realizing that Dad is not at home at this time. Instead, he's in a small iron room in the mountains, a remote location. Drugs and tools for sticky blood. Nothing suggests what Dad just did. After listening to the music, Dad gets up and goes to the workbench and starts packing up his tools. Everything is bagged and taken away. The blood was wiped off with antiseptic wipes. It's time for him to go. The junkyard at Mount G. The police have cordoned off the area. It's the murder case. The officer in charge of the case has arrived on the scene. He's looking at the bag of body parts. How uncomfortable would it be to see a dead body for the first time? This little cop just threw up. It's a mysterious case of broken bodies. The killer cut up the victim's body and dumped it in the construction site's landfill. There's a lot of people coming and going from the site. The search will be difficult. The officer in charge of this case said after asking his subordinates to send the body for an autopsy, although it's rarely on the news these days. But the truth is, murders are still happening. It just got caught before it became a serial murderer. In this day and age, the police have scientific investigations, surveillance, car recorders, and so on. There's no place for a killer to hide. After all this talk, the officer told his subordinate to look up at a surveillance camera. He's had a feeling lately. It's as if both the machine and the man are watching someone all the time. Xiao Cao's sighed. She's been in that dark room for 10 days, according to the surveillance. She spent the last few days eating, sleeping, and eating. The rest of the day is spent interacting with the computer. By now, Xiao Qiao has started talking to himself more often than not, complaining frantically that the food here is really bad, but she still finishes it. She wants to see if there are any more clues left by the mysterious man at the bottom of the plate. But here's the strange thing. She hasn't seen a message since that meeting with the mystery man, but the days went on as usual. Every day the alarm goes off just after dinner. 9 o'clock is Xiao Cao's internet time. She would naturally go to the computer. Like a tamed dog, she's adjusting to life here. Every day when Xiao Qiao turns on his computer, he opens Lei's homepage and journal as if he were at work. Then he searches for the account number, but got nothing. Bored, Xiao Qiao plans to go to the forums and watch people fight. As soon as she opened the page, she saw the gossip of a top stream idol. The other party is suspected to be involved in violent activities. It's in the middle of a public outcry. The comments underneath all show him concern for his parents. One of the guys was swearing really hard. That got Xiao Cao's attention. But when she clicked on the person's homepage, it was private account. Xiao Cao scolded the guy for interrupting her interest, and later intends to check out Kim Hina's SNS account again. I didn't expect to find something strange when I looked at it. Kim Hina says she wants to move her family. She doesn't want to stay in her current neighborhood anymore. It's horrible. Xiao Cao is wondering what the hell this guy is talking about. The following words caught her attention. Kim Hina mentioned someone, said he used to be popular at school. He was also a good student. He's at her own back table. Kim Hina's desk. Surely that's not me? Is that Lei? Xiao Cao reacts. Did Lei go to school? Is that why she's left me alone for the past few days? Your classmate is recognized as the dream guy in the class, but one day he just disappeared. When he reappeared, he was already on the news. He was murdered. The body was split up and dumped in a landfill. And you, who were at his table, were kidnapped, imprisoned in a secret room. Xiao Cao just opened the forums and found the shocking news. She was instantly shocked and disoriented. Lei is dead? Who is that mysterious man who locked me up? Xiao Cao becomes agitated. She can't believe it. All the clues point to Lei, but now the truth is telling her. Lei is dead. Xiao Cao opens the search bar, typed in Mount G. She wants to see the evidence for herself, but right after that, an official message popped up, dashing her hopes. The news identified the victim as Lei, word for word. It also detailed his school, class, etc. Now Xiao Cao is dumbfounded. It's true, Lei is really dead. At this point the mask outside the room was picked up. The mystic is back. He's coming straight at Xiao Cao. Xiao Cao's heart starts to beat faster at the sound of those footsteps. Who the hell is this guy? On the school side, the two girls at Xiao Cao's desk are talking. Kim Hina says her parents are picking her up after school today. She's afraid to go home by herself now. Another girl also agreed. After all, it's a horrible thing to happen. They both turned their heads and looked back. Lei's desk is filled with white chrysanthemums from her classmates. Due to the sheer number of flowers, a few more fell to Xiao Cao's side. It looked as if they were both dead. After school, Kim Hina found her mom who came to get her. On the way home, mom suddenly said she just heard about the family background of the child who had the accident while chatting with other parents. So Lei's mom is a doctor. His father is a prosecutor. It's a standard rich family in H. And now they're dead. That's a shame. Kim Hina also responded. Lei not only has a good family, but he is also very good at what he does. The other side. A cry comes from the empty classroom. Lei's mom is on her knees in front of her son's desk, crying. She, who has always regarded Lei as her spiritual support, cannot accept such a cruel fact. And then the crying mother. Lei's dad didn't say a word the whole time. Don't know what he's thinking. That's when mom's voice stopped. She fainted from the grief. The teacher called an ambulance. A few minutes later, Lei's parents left with the ambulance, and the teacher let out a sigh as she watched them leave. Then she pulled out her cell phone and called someone. It was Xiao Cao's father.